Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster, and had a rush here. There's more traffic on the streets now, and lots to talk about today. Thanks to MP Construction, Crowley Construction, being our sponsor. If you'd like to sponsor the show, different times of the year, people will jump in and out, but 978-534-1626. And that's our number here. Get a hold of us to be one of our sponsors. We're not going to waste any time at all because this is the guy that's going to be filling in for Tiger. I'm sure everybody's heard about it. And we have an exclusive today with the guy that'll be filling in for Tiger. It's none other than the great, the most powerful, and most accurate, the Art Report.
Man, oh man, if you know what, you could heat a building. Are you kidding me? I just hope he gets well. That's awful, but
that poor guy just got through a back.
His bag.
He just got through a back operation.
I know.
Which is.
And they said there were like 15 accidents on that road. It's a terrible road, and they were in the process of trying to come up with some answers.
Yikes.
Oh well, it happens to everybody sooner or later.
He's lucky he's
before
alive.
I forget, a big hats off to Leominster Police Department, Officer Benoit, for saving Ronald Dorsey's life at Doyle Field by administering CPR.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
There's a nice story.
You know, it's funny. I ride around a lot, and I get to see, like, I got to know a lot of police officers when I was a crossing guard, and there's been a whole change of the arms now. We've got a whole new breed of upcoming superstars on our police department, and he's got a good start on it.
Well,
I think it's wonderful.
His father is a long-time dispatcher for the Leominster Police, and his grandfather was Louis Benoit, who was a police officer for 30-something years. So
well, my great-grandfather was on the Fitchburg Police Department. And he used to take, I'm going back now, this is a long time ago I was told this story. I hope I get it right. Back in the day when he was, his last duty of his shift every day when he worked was to take a trolley to Whalum area to shut off lanterns.
Right. That's it.
And then he back on the trolley, and it was Grandpa Jim. And I remember growing up when I was very young, coming into our bedroom, and my mother met a policeman at the door, and they were confiscating, because he had long died, his weapons and stuff, whatever he had for, I guess they just recycle that stuff. I don't know, but
probably
he turned over his gun to the police anyway.
Probably had a .38.
God, I don't know.
Which is like a BB gun.
I'm surprised. Yeah, compared to today's power.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, but you just never know.
No.
You never know, and you know we're talking maybe 8 weeks or so. We can load the bag up because I was at a Leominster store yesterday. I bought some new balls, and I bought some new tees.
That's what the warm sun does. That's what the warm sun does. Gets you all pumped up.
Yep. The only difficulty I have is finding golf shoes that will fit my feet.
Well,
I have wide feet, and they don't think of us folks with wide feet for some reason.
Well, because they're going to have to charge you a lot more money. Just stretch them out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem. Other than that, everything is well. The city looks great. We don't have many potholes this year, even though we've had some snowstorms.
I know. I think I hit a few on the way in here, so we're going to have to start our little hotline again to get a free coffee if you call in a pothole.
Oh, I'll be on the pothole patrol for sure.
There you go. They fill up real fast once we do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Sure.
Other than that, I'll let you go. I know you're going to get an interesting guest.
We do.
We'll talk to you next week.
Is it okay if we call you interesting? I don't know that quite defines her. Interesting.
You can call me anything.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting. She's one of our favorite guests.
Yeah.
Well, we need to pump up the show. We reach out and bring her in. All right, we'll be right back, and with lots more here at Inside Leominster. It's our phone number is wide open today, 978-534-1626. And we know everyone wants to get their beach bod back. I know they were a little bit of, Ronnie here is becoming like a chick mag here, and he's down to almost nothing. You should see that he's fading away.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I have done something that probably maybe one or two people in this entire world have done.
What?
And that was back in the 70s, and I was scheduled to fly to Canada on a company plane, and we were leaving Hanscom, and they taxied out, and they were bringing the engines up, and the thing wasn't moving, and it went on for about 10 minutes. I looked out the window, and I saw a mechanic in a jumpsuit with a rubber hammer hitting the brakes. Now, I'm sitting next to the door curtain of the cockpit. I opened it.
I'm out of here now.
I said, what's going on? He says, well, your plane isn't the digital plane because it's down for service. They hired us out of Norwood, and we washed it before we left. Now, it's January.
Yeah, froze.
The brakes froze. So I said, to being somewhat mechanically inclined, yeah, we're going to fly up at about 15,000, 20,000 feet. It's colder up there. It'll refreeze. When I land in Canada, Ontario, I will probably bounce to Montreal. So guess what? I got off the plane, out on the runway, walked back to my car. I wish I had a camera because my manager, the guy I reported to, was on the plane. His nose is against the window saying, where the bleep are you going?
Yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm going back to Northborough.
F10 twice. I'm out of here.
Well, he showed up an hour later because they never did get him unfrozen.
No, they never got out of there.
But no, no.
I was in a small plane heading through New York City. We're heading to D.C., and we rented a plane, the three mayors, and we just, I don't know, figured it was cheaper. So we're in one of those, four-seater Cessnas, and I see the alternator light go on. The guy's like, yeah, nothing to worry about. I said, yeah, you're right. You're not going to worry about it. I'm going to worry about it.
No, that's it. No. See, you can't just pick up the phone and call AAA at 20,000 feet.
Yeah, just meet me up here and take care of the alternator.
Nay. Not going to happen.
No.
I thought I was nervous when Ron Bushkai gave me a ride around Pocono International Raceway, 2.5 mile super speedway, never mind.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
nothing when you're at 20,000 feet. Do you want to do anything out of the ordinary?
Not me.
Having said that,
all about safety.
That's right. You better believe it.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about like butternut squash and acorn squash and root stuff that comes out of the ground, and we'll talk about my beet salad diet. You on the beet salad diet?
No, I'm on the keto diet.
Yeah, you pea red. Yeah. That's all I can tell you. Pea beets. Okay, taking a short break. We'll be right back. 978-534-1626.
If I had 1,000 tongues, I would sing with everyone. Voices like a mountain song. Sing, you are my only one. Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life can be this good. I would launch 1,000 ships just to be about your lips. Tell them all to sail away just to see you every life can be this good. If I lived 1,000 lives, I'd spend them all with you beside. Never-ending deja vu, never-ending days with you. Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Oh, life is wonderful. Oh, life is wonderful. Never understood how life can be this good. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Life can be this good.
Beautiful up there. Kids having a ball skating, and I understand there was one area cleared out. And kids showed up and they said, yeah, there's too many kids over there or whatever, and they wanted to play hockey, so they just went a little further out into the lake. They brought their snow shovel, old-fashioned, old school. They brought their shovels out, dug it all out, and they had another place. So it was like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 different locations for skating, all at Barrett Park. Getting a little mushy out there right now, but maybe some cooler weather will give us some ice. Anyway, we have a guest right now. At any time you feel like you want to call and ask a question, she doesn't mind, I don't mind. It's 978-534-1626, and we'll put you in touch. No stranger to the show. Ayn Yeagle is here.
Hi, everyone.
We always bring Ann in just to get things going, and spring's coming. People have been
Normally
watching
you
our
can see
show.
my whole face, though.
We've been talking. You can take your mask off.
No,
You're
no,
more than
it's
6
okay.
feet.
I'm protecting you, and I'm
Me?
protecting. Yes. So we're just
From
gonna,
what? You're the person that's in good health.
I'm out in the public all the time.
Well, so am I.
I know. Just keep going. All right, we're protecting you.
Nobody, take your mask. I mean, we're 6 feet. We're like 16 feet
No, no,
between
I'm
each other.
just protecting you.
Well, nobody's to know who you are. Anyway, from Growing Places, she's the executive director, and we randomly and then sometimes with a plan and invite her on to talk about
Doesn't need a
what's going on at Growing Places. And she's a nutritionist, so we talk about eating properly, like that chocolate chip ice cream diet, and so there's all these good foods in front of us. And you were actually at City Hall today.
Yes, my staff is there right now.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, so they have the Leominster Marketplace. We do once a month. And I think people think that there's no vegetables during the winter, but there are. I just, want to make sure everybody's aware of that we do have vegetables all winter long. Do you want to talk about them?
Do we want
to share?
Anything that was on your mind as you were driving here this afternoon
All right,
or
well,
planning
what
for
was on
this?
my mind was the potholes, Mayor. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you hit a pothole?
No. But people are a little crazy today. I'm not going to lie to you.
Today seems to be, and I believe there's a full moon coming.
Is that what it is?
I don't know, but yes. You know what it is? We've gone so long with so few cars on the road, so little traffic, that now it's beginning to have more and more people on, and we're like, hey, what are you doing on the road? How come there's so many people on the road?
Yeah, it's really tough right now.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I certainly know why.
So when you set up, you got your little mobile unit set up, and you set it up at the Veteran Center, near the Senior Center, right in the middle.
We do.
I was amazed. You used to do it on Wednesday afternoons, right? Wednesday mornings at 11 or whatever. I was amazed at how many people showed up.
Yeah, so let's talk about why they came to our little mobile market. Because we have lots of farmers in our region. Lots. Like there's there's way more than 50 local farmers in North Central Mass. And in Leominster, I don't know, I would say we have at least like 3 or 4 decent sized farms here, right? And so we've got local agriculture, which is awesome, but not everyone can get there with transportation and things like that. So we built our little mobile farmers market so we could buy the produce from our farmers and drive it to where people are at. And so the senior center happens to be one of the access points because we know older adults can get there. It's on public transportation route. So we started to take it there. People can use their senior farmers market coupons there, which is awesome. And so, and I think it's really visible too, which is
Yes.
great. There tons of people go
Very
by that
convenient.
street.
And they're getting fresh produce.
They're getting fresh produce. And so we accept, what I want to talk a little bit
Can
about
I just
today.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Is that what's that? Is that a radish over there?
Yeah, let's.
It looks like an apple.
Yeah, you want to see which one? This one?
No, the one out front. What is that? Is that a rutabaga or something? What is that? Yeah.
Turnip.
Oh, that's a turnip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a big radish.
Yeah, but what about this one?
What is it?
Celeriac root.
Come on.
It's celery root.
Really?
Yeah, and you can eat celery root.
So as long as you store it in the right conditions, they'll last all winter.
Yeah, and
right?
what's really interesting is if you look at these squashes I have, they actually have like a layer of wax on them, and it helps to preserve them, so they all get rubbed with it when they get
so
picked.
You add that. So they're picked, rubbed,
Yeah.
and then stored.
Yeah, so it's, root vegetables, right? And so they store them over the winter, and they can overwinter, like they say, right? And so, like all these things, none of them grew. Let me show you. Let's separate them
Go
out,
ahead.
right? Like, so this. Whoop, see, I always move. This happens every time.
No,
I'm
there's
a
no
mover.
mistakes here.
I'm a
Everything's-
yeah, but I move, and then I take things with me. Okay, so this,
Yeah.
right? This wasn't grown now. That wasn't grown now. No. No.
Potatoes.
No.
Was that the greens grown
These
in
are
a greenhouse over the winter?
Yeah, so the greens are grown in greenhouses
Yeah.
over the winter. Like Little Leaf Farm,
Yeah.
right? These aren't in particular from Little Leaf.
Right, but there's other operations where they
yeah,
have
yeah.
greenhouses.
So
Sure.
growing places. We also built a tower farm, an aeroponic farm. So we've been growing all winter long.
Really?
Yes.
How cool.
We grow bok choy, and we grow lettuce, and we grow, I don't know, what else do we grow? Spinach, kale. We grew cabbages. They're all gone. I wanted to bring you one of our cabbages. They're so cute. They're
And
like
you
this
grew 'em?
little- We grew them in our tower farm,
Inside?
right at Doyle Conservation
Wow,
Center.
how cool.
Yeah, so we have 20 towers, and they all have like grow lights. They kind of look like the lights in the studio,
Right,
actually. I shouldn't look at them because I go blind when I do it. And they are distanced like perfectly. So we worked with a lighting company to make sure that they had the right amount of amperage on them and the right lights, because there's all different frequencies of lights to help
Sure.
things grow. And so then we created our tower farm. And so our tower farm, every one of them has, I think, 28 plugs, meaning 28 plants can grow in every one. So
Is that how you buy them in a plug?
we buy 'em, we plant them. We
Right, but I'm
start
saying
them
they
right from
could start
seeds.
off as a plug.
Yeah, they start off as in this rock wool stuff. I wish
Right.
next time I'll bring some. So rock wool is basalt rock that's spun like cotton candy, and then we have a propagation unit which also has lights, so a little grow tower. We plant all the little rock wools, boop, 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 with all the seeds. We get them to a baby size, like that you would transplant in a garden, and then we put them in all the tower gardens, and they grow
cool.
about 3 times as fast as they would in the soil.
I have a friend that's got these little mobile units that they
Yeah.
bring to, well, they're bringing them to like prisons and schools, and they set them up and they grow lettuce out of them. They're a little small, like trailer units.
Yeah, that's so
And
cool.
they just grow them out of the
It
air.
sounds
almost.
similar
Kind
to
of
our-
like that place at Devon's. They're just growing it
Yeah.
basically with, with water and air and
Yeah.
light. And,
Yeah.
and
That's
actually,
what we're doing
when
too.
I remember when they first started that, things didn't taste so good, but now they've got this thing perfected where
Yeah.
the product looks good,
Yeah.
and now it actually tastes good.
Yeah, they're delicious. You would never know the
Yeah,
difference. So like,
right.
I mean, it uses water. So I have one of our trustees with us today who helped us set everything up, because growing places always works in
Did
partnership.
you set them all up? You set up all those growing pods? That's cool.
Yeah.
And we need to do a little instruction on that some night on the show. We'll just do
we
a
could
whole
take one.
show.
Yeah.
And just do it on it, because
Yeah.
you show me how to do it, I'm fine. You ask me to read it in the book and try to
No,
figure it
no,
all out.
I'm
there are
visual
little
too.
diagrams.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
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 Just show me how to do it.
Yeah,
I'll be
show me.
fine. Like composting.
Yeah.
I try to tell people, and they're like, I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll come over, and we'll
I'll
do
show
a
you.
little thing on composting.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, thank you. That was easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like that too. I don't like a manual. I like to be shown.
Right.
Or I like to talk through it and process it. But
Look at the butternut squash looks awesome.
it does look really good, I gotta say. I mean, this time of year, you gotta figure it was harvested in like October or
Right.
November. And it's been, sitting and held properly in storage. But I mean, we just got it this week. It came into us from the Worcester Regional Food Hub this week. So like the leafy greens, we grow a lot of them. We can't keep up because we are home delivering produce right now. So, if you're in Leominster, we can just home deliver to your house.
Wow.
Every week on Wednesdays. We go right to people's houses.
I want to make sure we give a phone number where people can reach us at growing places.
Oh, 978-598-3723. But if you call us, we're often working either in the field or remotely. So I think our voicemail says that we check messages twice a week. So you can email us too. And I would email us at my name, AYN, at growingplaces.org. That's how I would get in touch with us if you're interested.
And
Yeah.
then as the seasons change, you get really busy, right?
do.
I mean, really start to get going.
Yeah, it's time. Like it's time to start planting and things like that. It's crazy.
And then I think every time we're here, we often talk about, people look at these things sometimes and we'll say, what do I do with kale? Or what do I do with acorn squash? Or what do I do with a cassava melon or Santa Claus melon? Or, like, what do I do with that stuff? Right?
So let's talk about what we do with
Yes.
these things, because I like to, because they're so versatile. And what's cool is, even though I'm a dietitian, I'm not a chef. I wasn't taught like culinary, right? So I'm learning how to prepare these things all the time. I'm really good at telling you how many carbs they have and how much protein they have in them and all that stuff and why they're good for
Anything
you.
that tastes good is carbs and sugar.
Stop it! Every year, I swear to God.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Because you can really make any food taste good. You just got to do the right thing, right? Not so much salt, right?
I
People kill it
suppose.
with salt,
They
spices.
kill it with salt. We need to do spices. So we
Yes.
grow spices
Yes.
in the tower farm. And you can do fresh spices or dried spices. But all right, so let's talk about how versatile these things are, right? So here's our kale.
Yes.
Now, first of all, I just want to say our kale. Kale is a leafy green, and leafy greens do not do well in the warm. So it's a little warm in the studio. So he's starting to get a little limp.
Yeah, it's
Poor
okay.
guy, but he's still good for you. So kale is packed with nutrition. So let me tell you about kale and what you can do with it. Kale, first of all, has almost no carbohydrates in it because it's a leafy green. You can eat it raw, but here's what's important. Kale is tough, right? So if you prepare it raw, you want to massage it. So if you make a kale salad, let's say we had it all like torn up, and
Yeah.
you want to massage it and you want to get it soft, because otherwise it's really tough and it doesn't have a good mouthfeel
floss your
to
teeth
it.
with it.
Yeah. So, but kale also, you don't need to just eat it raw, right? You can make kale chips with your kids. So put a little olive oil and salt, and then any flavors. You can make spicy kale chips. You can make sweet kale chips. You can make any flavors that you want onto it, and you toss it in the oven, and you crisp it up. And they're really nice when they're the big flat leaves like this, because they start to shrink a little, right? And they come out really, really
They start
cool.
to curl up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lay them flat,
Taco
right?
chip.
And then you toss them with the sugar, like the mayor's saying, and then you got your coated kale chip. Perfect.
Because a lot of people walk by the greens and they look, wow, they really look good. And of course, today you can get on YouTube.
People don't know what to do with
But in the
greens.
past, when I was just a kid and I worked in the produce section, we had everything, like things I've never dreamt of. But some people knew what to do with them.
Most
and
people
others
don't.
thought, wow, that's really interesting.
know.
But once you show people
Most
what to
people
do
don't.
with them,
Yeah, they don't know.
but it's very nutritional. I mean, it's good for you.
It's
kale.
really, really good for you.
and
so
no carbs.
No, almost no carbs. And so if you're a diabetic and you're watching your carbs, or you're on a keto diet like our friend, right? Then
Ronnie, you can just eat it. They even have like pancake mix that you can have.
Yeah, I know. I have bought that.
You can eat almost everything on that diet.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I can't have gluten, and I can eat almost everything because we live in a world where they've created things that are accessible for people so we can eat,
You're
which is
exactly
good.
right. I don't eat gluten-free products.
Right, so if
yeah.
he's on a keto diet, he has to have gluten-free products, right?
Yes.
So, so kale, all right, so kids especially, yeah, you can make kale chips and you can have fun with it, but a lot of times what's good around leafy greens is when they're little kids, you can hide them in things, right? So you can make meatballs and you can
Put a little kale.
chop up kale. And you
Chop,
can,
chop, chop.
Yeah, put a little kale in it, right? You can make soups. You can put kale in it.
Now, that's
so,
the wonderful part about soups is you can put anything.
I know,
in
I
there,
love
and it
soups.
tastes so good.
So celeriac root.
Yep.
Let's talk about this one. So this is the bulb of celery. This is how it's grown.
Does it taste like celery?
See, you can see the celery
like
starting
a
at
little,
the right, little guy.
pineapple at the top there.
Isn't it cute? So it's a root vegetable,
Yeah.
right? And then the celery sprouts out. We actually, you can't grow root vegetables in these tower farms that we have.
Right.
They have to grow in the soil. But for celery root in particular, or celery, we grew celery in our tower farms.
Wow.
And it will never create the root like this, but it still creates
So you
the
grew
leafy
celery
green.
out of there? How tall did it get?
Celery didn't get super tall, but we have had some stuff that's grown right up to the ceiling.
But the hearts, they call celery hearts, are only this, like that, and you get the full celery, it's like that.
Yeah.
But celery hearts
It
is
depends on how-
kind of a different
so-
product, it's shorter. I don't know why they grow it
Yeah,
that way,
yeah.
but it's only that.
We have a TerraCore service member who's like, because it's a new, every time we do something new at growing places, we have AmeriCorps and TerraCore service members. So they call them capacity building projects. And usually we're experimenting with things, right? Because
Right.
we've never, and then we get it right, so then we can scale it up. So when we have this tower farm, we have a TerraCore service member, Derek, working on it right now. And he loves this thing that he's doing. But he gets really excited, like he's young still, he just graduated from college. And he harvests things early, and they don't get to maturity a lot of times. So our celery was a little small the first round that we grew. So now I think it's time to give it a little more love and to let it grow a little bit longer. But you know, we planted, let's see, when did we build it? In October, November, right?
Yeah.
And then we planted, right? So we propagated the first set of seedlings, and then by January, we had a full harvest. But that celery and the leeks, so we knew leafy greens. We do this with the schools. We buy them. We write grants and we buy them, these tower gardens. And then we come in and we teach the kids. It's, it's great. It aligns really well with the school year because you know that you can't garden in the
Right.
winter here,
And
right?
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's pretty,
And they love it.
cool, and I eat it after.
Yeah,
it's better than that.
No, it's the coolest thing, right?
So is the celery like
So they
real
were little.
watery? Like you bite into it, it just.
Well, they were little,
Yeah.
so they didn't get like that, but it just like regular celery. I mean,
Yeah.
you figure that it's there's a ton of water content
That's what
in
I'm
celery,
saying. It must
right?
be really like that's the best when you get it like
yeah,
that.
Yeah. So I wish I had some.
That's
we
okay.
had we had so little of it. I would have given it to you.
That's okay.
It's
No, I don't want to.
It's fantastic.
So there are
So
lots of
leafy-
things
so-
like parsley and all kinds of things that you can add to things that you're eating that are healthy to give it taste. And you look at something and you don't have to smother it with butter and salt and
Yeah.
everything. There are things that just try to pick them up at the store or wherever
Yep.
and add them to whatever it is that you're eating and arugula and all of those things that sometimes people don't know what to do with them.
They don't know what, so let's talk about some of those
Yes.
things in addition to kale, right? So, and let's talk about why they're healthy for you too. So, there's vitamins and minerals. Let's get a little nutrition-y right now, all right? We're gonna have a little lesson.
Yes.
So, all right, so there's calories, right? So calories are what give us energy, right? So they make us go. So carbohydrates, protein, and fat, they give us energy,
Right.
okay? Carbohydrates are supposed to give us our main source of energy, and then fats have a lot more calories per the same amount. So like if I'm, I don't know, if I'm a tub of margarine or a tub of butter, and then I'm my radish, right? Because this is all fat, this has like 4 calories per gram. I have 9 calories per gram. So I have 9, like more than double the amount of calories for the same amount of something.
Right.
So that's why you just have to be careful. It's not that fat is necessarily terrible for you, although the amount or the type matters, but it's really about just when it comes to calories, size for size, eating the same amount of something, you just get double the amount of calories in it, and you got to
Right.
burn that off somehow. Whether it's hiking at Sholin, right, like you're gonna do, or it's sweeping your house for 8 hours, because that's about how long it would take to burn all that off. So, all right, so you have protein, fat, and carbohydrates. And then you have vitamins and minerals. So think of fat, carbohydrates, and protein as, those are like your organs, right? Like they make up, like, or the parts of a car. And then think of the vitamins and minerals as like all the lubricants. They make it work, right? Like they make everything work together.
Interact, and
Right.
that's what makes them, right?
Makes
like a
everything function.
Booster, sure.
Right? Okay, got it. Then the things that no one ever talks about are phytochemicals and antioxidants. All right. So you know how they talk about the environment and stressors to our body, and they say that we get oxidative damage, right? So the aging process, for example, that's oxidative damage. That is our cells are not as healthy as they could be. And what happens is over time, the more oxidative damage that we have, it affects chronic disease. So diabetes, heart disease, and certain types of cancer are all, they're affected by oxidation or free radicals in your body. So what food has in it, and not just food, only things grown in the earth. So not animal proteins, only grains, vegetables, and fruits, okay? They have these things called phytochemicals.
Does that include potatoes?
It does.
It does?
Yeah, actually, potatoes
Yeah.
are better than you think for you.
They've made us think that potatoes are not good
They're
to eat.
not, no, they actually have phytochemicals, and they have some really good nutrient properties that are good for us. And potatoes get a bad rap.
They made them like, if you eat a potato, it's like almost like people make you think you're eating a donut.
Yeah, no, and that's not true
That's
at
right.
all.
See? So it's not true. That's urban legend.
It's
myth.
crap is what it is. And I'll
Yes.
tell you that part of it is because
Do we eat potatoes?
I absolutely eat
Okay.
potatoes. And do you know we have purple potatoes at growing places?
You do?
They're beautiful.
Those are good too.
We have red and purple potatoes.
Red is good.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And so actually, I'm glad you mentioned color, because what makes up the color of everything are actually the phytochemicals in them. That's what gives it its color. So this, because it's green, and this because it's white, and this because it's orange, all have different phytochemicals in them.
Right.
And you know how they say eat a rainbow? That's why they say eat a rainbow.
Eat them all, right?
Because you need them all.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut them all up into a salad and.
You need them all.
Sure.
And so we want lots of phytochemicals because it prevents oxidation. That's what's good for us. So when we have certain diets that cut out, like grains, fruits, and vegetables, there's no way you can get that back in a pill. You can't take a vitamin or a mineral, vitamins, and get that back. You have to eat the food. So, and that's the other reason why chronic diseases are
bread?
so high. Breads are, what is bread made from?
Could be grains.
Grain, right?
Yeah.
So they have, yeah,
Could
absolutely.
be potatoes.
Yeah.
Potato bread.
But here's the problem. So with a grain, it's the fiber, right? So when everything's grown, it comes from a plant, right? And it has the fiber on it, okay? And then what we do is we take the fiber off because we don't like it brown and we like it white. And then what happens is we've taken off all the vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals.
So like rice, right? I mean, rice.
Rice.
The brown stuff is better for you than the white rice because obviously
You're stripping off the fiber
Right.
and all the phytochemicals and all the vitamins and minerals.
So there are breads that you can eat that are healthy for you.
There
You just got to eat the right breads.
Yeah, and you just can't eat only bread, right? Because we said you
Right.
need a rainbow.
Right.
So all right, celery, let's talk about root vegetables then. So leafy greens, we'll do one more leafy green. So, because like you said, I think people get nervous of what to do with
Yeah,
these things because they're
of
like,
course.
all you can do is make a salad with them, which isn't necessarily the truth. So these are pea shoots.
Really?
Yeah, so these are pea shoots. I gotta tell you, now, when you're talking about like kids, right, and getting kids to eat leafy greens, my 8-year-old, she does not really like lettuce. She's a kid. I don't care if I'm a dietitian and my husband's a dietitian. She's still an 8-year-old. She likes Oreo cookies best, right? She loves pea greens, though.
Really?
Yeah, she absolutely, because they're a little bit sweet. I think because they're sweet pea greens. And so she loves them.
Throw me one. Can you fling one over here?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you like the good ones. Hold on.
Fling them.
Ready?
Yep. Nice catch.
Thank you.
And these are called what?
They're pea greens.
Pea
so
greens.
they're pea shoots.
Just they pick the peas.
Yeah.
You always throw this away.
Yeah, exactly.
You can eat the stem too.
Yeah, eat the whole thing.
You grew this? It's so tender.
Right?
It's good.
It's good, right?
It's like a pea.
Yeah, and they're really good for you. So
like
it's just an alternative to a leafy green, and nobody would go in the store and like pick out pea greens and buy them, right? And that's the other thing
And
about.
they're crunchy for people like me. I like the crunch.
You like the crunch because you said you like the celery crunch, right? Yeah, so they're crunchy. They have good like texture and mouthfeel to them, right? They're a little sweetness for a green. They're not bitter, right, in any way, shape, or form. They're good.
I like them.
Yeah, pea greens are good. So if you, like even on a BLT, put pea greens on a BLT. They're delicious. They're a good little snack, see?
All right, let's talk about dinner.
All
What
right,
our
let's-
plate should look like.
All right, let's, I think we should, I wish we had a big audience. We could poll the audience of what their plate looked like. So what do you think the plate should look like?
6 chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, how big is our plate? So it's like the size of this room, right?
Like
6
deep fried
times bigger.
chicken.
Okay,
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
the Colonel would be
It should
thrilled.
have, it should have some meat or chicken or fish.
Yeah,
And then vegetables or whatever, but not necessarily like corn or anything, certain things, right?
no, you can have what you
Can I have
want
corn?
on it. Yeah, all right,
Okay.
so let's pretend that we have meat and, okay. So protein, and let's talk about why it's like this. All right, protein, that builds your muscles. It helps to build all your cells. It is what makes DNA. It's what is in every single cell in our body. You have to have protein. We would not be okay without it. But we eat too much of it.
Right.
Because what happens is if we eat more than our body needs, we just pee it out essentially.
Right.
And that just overprocesses in our kidneys, and it's not good for our kidneys, to be honest. So we eat a little too much protein in America. It's very typical.
Cheese and...
Cheese has protein
Well,
for
because
sure.
we eat what tastes really good.
But that's
Why
just.
wouldn't you just want to eat cheese forever? Like get the right cheese, it's loaded with salt.
I do like
It's not good
cheese.
for... You could just sit there with a knife and just keep
But
peeling
cheese
it off.
goes really good with figs.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
now you're real. So
So-
you're saying the right balance?
Yeah,
So figs and a little bit of cheese?
I'm saying the right balance.
It's they counter
Yeah.
each other?
They don't, I don't know if they counter each other, but they maybe complement each other.
Complement each other,
right?
I'm sorry,
So,
yeah.
no, but you want a nice variety of things. And so,
Because I love figs. Nothing better than a
oh
fig
my God,
right off the fig
like
tree.
sweet and
Oh.
salty, like together, the best. So, all right, so let's talk about your cheese. So you got your cheese on your plate, right? And then you have your fig, right? So you have your protein, which is also dairy in this case, right? And then you have your fruit, but what's missing? What else do you need on your plate? Vegetable.
Oh, your vegetables?
Right? Okay, so let's do proportion here. So this says how much cheese you should have. This is how much fruit and vegetable should be on there. And this is how much grain should be on there.
So it's balanced.
Yeah.
That's what they call a balanced diet.
Balanced.
And maybe a piece of whole grain bread?
Would be, yeah, that's,
That's that part. Okay.
yeah. So that's a good meal. And there's no reason that you can't have those things. Those things are perfectly fine. The problem is with us is that let's go through a typical day. We're busy people, right? We start off, we skip breakfast because we're stressed out and we're late for work and our kids, whatever. So we go to Dunkin' Donuts and we're like, I'll just get some munchkins, okay? Like, here we go.
Or a bagel or something.
All right, we can get a bagel.
Yeah.
Let's get a bagel. And we get a bagel, but the bagel at Dunkin' Donuts is worth 5 servings of carbohydrate.
Yeah, it's 500 calories with cream
Right.
cheese.
So we've almost eaten our whole amount of carbohydrates for the day. So forget having things at lunch and dinner because you've eaten all of it at breakfast time. So then you're at work and somebody brings in some muffins that they made, and you have some muffins, so you have some more carbohydrates.
Now you're operating in the negative.
Then you're in trouble because you're in
You already ate
deficit
all
mode.
yours.
It's a problem. You've already surpassed that. And then you go home and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm too tired to cook. Screw this. I'm getting a pizza.
Yep.
So all you've had all day are carbohydrates,
Right.
essentially. That's the problem with our culture. It's not that one thing is bad. It's that we are busy people and the food system has not really caught up to our lifestyle.
And they make you think you're eating something healthy.
They do
They
make
trick you into making you
Marketing
think
is
that,
amazing.
that you're eating something healthy when in fact it's just masqueraded. Let's go to the phones because we have a caller. Caller, welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? I'm eating pea pods here, whatever they're called, pea greens, or whatever. Clover leaves, clover leaves.
Hey guys, how are you?
She's talking to you.
I can't. Hi, I know you said
You
hi.
can't hear because you got a mask on.
I can't. Will you stop it? Hello.
How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
That's Crystal.
I just want to talk about how we have a dietitian at Hannaford, and she always sets up like ideas for us to go by guiding stars and stuff.
At Hannaford.
So, Crystal, what's your dietitian's name?
Mia.
Is it Mina?
Yeah.
Mina works for Growing Places too.
She's very fun. She told me about the rules about how much food you have to eat.
What'd she tell you?
Does she ever eat Snicker bars while nobody's looking?
Does she?
No, she doesn't.
I'm
She
sure
doesn't.
she probably in moderation, like everybody does.
I think
right?
Mina's a
Yeah.
pretty normal person. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
Anyways,
Yeah.
anyways, we have this woman. Her name is Tammy. She's one of Jamie's sister, and she brings these mileage bars. They're kind of like homemade Twixes.
What kind of bars are they?
They're called mileage bars.
Mileage bars. What's in our mileage bar?
There's like a dark chocolate, caramel, and cookie crumbs kind of.
Sounds delicious. Is there anything redeeming about it? Anything healthy in it?
Well, I know the only healthy part about it is dark chocolate. I know dark chocolate's good for your heart.
Oh, what's in dark chocolate that's good for you? Do you know what it
I
is?
I don't know if caramel's good for you because I know it sticks to your teeth.
No, caramel's really not good for
all
you.
sugar.
It's just sugar.
But it's good.
But dark chocolate has cacao in it, which is a phytochemical, because cacao is a plant. It's grown from the earth. That's
Yeah,
why
and
dark chocolate's good for you.
You mean there's no caramel plant?
I mean, I'm sure at Growing
Ronnie, is
Places,
there a caramel plant?
we
I
could
don't think
Come
so.
on.
we could probably figure out how to make one, but I'll let you know when that biotech
Well,
comes.
one good thing
Let me
that's...
know when you need me to volunteer again. I'm working at Hannaford's again.
I
All
will,
right.
Crystal. It's almost summer, so when the mobile market comes out, it'd be great. The other thing is we have our community gardens up at Doyle, where the trustees are near our office, and we grow food, we grow produce all season, and we have our individual gardeners who grow, and they have their plots, but we also have, we call it our Seed to Community program, and that's where volunteers grow food, and we donate it to all of the food pantries in the
love it.
area. So if you are interested in learning how to garden, we'd love to have you do that with us too.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
hoping when the virus is over.
She's got a lot of energy, Crystal.
I know she does.
She
She's a
could
great
probably
helper. She
turn
helps
the whole
us.
garden over by herself.
Yeah.
All right, Crystal, I got to take a
thank you,
break
Dino.
here. All right, take
Bye.
care. Over and out, 10-4. All right, hang on. I got to do, let me just, here. I got to do updates and stuff like that. I got to
sorry.
get this stuff done.
Sorry.
And then, so, hang on. Let's do photos of the week if we can. We have, as of today, and these numbers are going to change tonight, but as of right now, 1,788 people tested positive. There were 114,000, which is a big number, yesterday tested in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. 60 deaths, one is too many. 235. Oh, this is this as of today? No, yesterday. 235 new cases here in Worcester County. We're down from 376 to 360. The good news is down in hospitalizations across the state, there are 4,000 beds. There are 875. And then in intensive care, down to 219. Still not a good thing, but at least the number's going down. There's your testing sites. If you're still looking for a test, from what I understand, you can, there's no more big lines at these testing sites. Get you in and out, get your test results back for you. Information on vaccine distribution. Supposedly there are 50,000 more appointments that were made today.
Wow.
And 11 more regional sites. We have let the state know since, I don't know, early October, November. We purchased a thermo temp refrigerator that's
That's
specially
awesome.
for vaccines, and that need to be refrigerated or frozen, I should say. And we still have the location at the mall. We did public safety not only for our community but other communities, and so still waiting on certification and getting that vaccine shipped directly here. But in the meantime, you can try to get on to the site. It's vaxfinder.mass.gov. It's been a disaster, but you can keep trying. We have somebody online who's watching all day. There were 1,000 this morning at Gillette for, I think, Saturday and Sunday. Those were gobbled up immediately. And we're one of the 20 communities that are chosen for vaccine assistance. So they're going to have somebody that's going to work with us and get the word out. Next week, we'll start calling those residents that are 75 and older. A, check on them, make sure they're doing okay. B, make sure they have all the information about vaccines.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of misinformation about vaccines. C, check to see if they had a vaccine. D, see if they want to get one. And so we can get the information and let them know and help them navigate through the system.
Yeah.
So I know, they told my mother she was all set for vaccine today, and they called and canceled it because they didn't have a second one. And then they said, but you can go to something.com. I mean, that's not a place to send a 90.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but that's that goes all day and night. So anyway, there's our dosages as of Wednesday. Total administered as of yesterday was 1.5 million, and an increase of 42,000 on Wednesday. So we'll get those dates up there. It will run out of time, but you can get some really nutritional things at these restaurants. It's Restaurant Week.
Yay.
Till the 27th.
Support your restaurants.
Support your local restaurants. It'll be really fun and exciting when more and more fresh produce is available to them as well. And we're starting to see it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, more and more fresh produce year round.
Yeah, it's really, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I'm more of a farm-to-table kind of guy. I grew up with my grandfather, grew this unbelievable garden that every inch of the garden was producing something. And we didn't use any pesticides or any of that stuff. And we watered everything from a rain barrel and just dried all the basil out on the porches.
This is the tip of the iceberg
gold.
on what you can grow.
Gold.
I mean, you can grow hundreds of different things.
Yes,
Like,
well,
it's
we're
amazing.
just going to show people.
Just
right?
in New England, yeah, you just got to
I'm a plug-and-play guy now, right? You got to show me how to do it, and then it's got to be easy.
That's
and
what
it's
we do
work.
with growing places.
Right, and that's why the frozen food section is so large now, because you can get really healthy options in the frozen food section, because they realize that people are busy and they need to pop something. And I've tried some. You pop it in the microwave, rip it open, let it steam for a couple minutes, and we've had great success.
Yeah, I think I love that it's Restaurant Week, so you can support your local,
Yes, you can.
local anything, because that's what drives our economy, right? And that's what makes us.
And more, even at like McDonald's and Burger King, are starting to offer more local, more healthy options, because they realize the customers are looking for them. Let's go to another slide. I got to do this real quick. So Restaurant Week till the 27th. Let's do photos of the week. Hey, this is one that I've been eating my beet salad diet now for 6 months, so I'm getting ready for the pizza crawl coming up March 21st to the 27th. And that gets a lot of attention. People love that. It's okay because you taste a little bit each day, and you eat the healthy stuff. And it's a balance, right?
I mean, look how healthy that pizza is.
Of course, it's got
Look
olives
what's
on it, mushrooms.
It's a farmer's pizza.
Hey, Rocky, I don't know, but Rocky hasn't moved a bit. He's out there all dressed up, nowhere to go, but down. And if you can guess the closest time when Rocky falls through the ice, I say it's somewhere around the end of March, but I think, that sun is strong.
I know, it's warmed up.
It's really strong. You can tell you get in your car at midday and you can feel it.
It might be before that. After that.
Well, support your local veterans organization. You can get tickets available by going to City Hall or the library. You could print your ticket out from home by visiting leovets.org, Rocky Leominster Veterans Center, ICE out. You could call us at 978-534-1626. We'll go to the next slide here. Have a recreation hike set up. You need to pre-register, but it's March 20th. We'll tell you a lot more about it. You can go to the city's recreation department. This is where you burn off some of them carbos, right?
That's where our friend's been.
Stored. Yeah, this guy's everywhere. I saw him downtown yesterday.
Right?
He's everywhere.
It's awesome.
He's everywhere. He's like Waldo. Pre-registration is required right up until the day before. Sign up at the Leominster Recreation Department. There he is, Junior LaPointe. He's retiring, still a young guy.
Wow.
Had a little party for him yesterday. And I'll tell you, this guy's been the brains of the operation up there in terms of the mechanical things. He's helped us move our, one day we were talking about building a pavilion.
Wow.
Next thing I know, Junior's saying, yeah, we can saw up our own wood, we can build this. And I'm like, a pavilion? He's like, yep. He's been the backbone for us, knows all the mechanicals for the pool, and there's lots of moving parts.
He's retiring?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
We're going to try to hire him over the summer to help us out, because he knows all the mechanicals for the water park, and he's like the protein, and he's like all the different food groups over there.
Yeah, he makes it work.
It's no caller ID. It's somebody calling, soliciting. Okay. Donation to the Leominster Police Department. That was a wonderful thing by Ms. Noseworthy. And these are things for autistic kids, kids with special needs. And they're little diagrams, ways of communicating with little sort of, you know, so maybe you can't verbally explain something.
That's great.
And those will be donated now to the Leominster Police Department. And will
that's
come in
fantastic.
good use. There we are. We were at the Daily Bagel this morning. And
I'm a little
everything's made
jealous.
fresh there. And what a place. And
It is delicious.
Joe and I and the missus go way back. Way back.
That's
and
awesome.
you know what's amazing? They must be eating right. They
So,
got
how old
Italian
is she?
and Greek
Oh,
in
yeah,
them,
yeah.
right? 100% on one end, 100% on the other. And you put the two together, and somehow or another, they still look like they're in high school.
They have a really hardcore plant-based diet, the both of them. I gotta say, like,
I know they do.
You know?
She looks like she's 29 and a half and 3/4.
I know, I'm
It's amazing.
100. It's amazing how I look.
And then we were down at All of Us the other day, and these guys make everything from scratch. You're down there on Central Street, right before the Sunoco station on the right. Everything from scratch, every day, everything. Neat, it's clean, tons of different options, lots of healthy
Where is it?
options. Right down on Central Street on the right-hand side after the Leominster Motel.
To check it out.
Very good.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready because we've got to help, you know, that hot sun. Do you know 4 years ago yesterday, people were eating outdoors in front of Monument Grill? It was like 60, 70 degrees out.
Was
and
that year?
Yes, 4 years ago. So anyway, we're getting businesses ready in restaurants. So we have 25 heaters to loan.
Oh, that's
They've
great.
arrived. We're setting them all up. These are high quality. These aren't something that
great.
you'd buy at, you know, one of those discount houses. These are restaurant
Nice.
quality. And we have 28 to lease out or rent out. We're not going to charge anybody for anything. And it's part of the Shared Streets program.
That's great.
And listen to this, in front of the Fix, that's going to be a park.
I know, I'm really
Ripping
excited.
Everything
I love
out
the
over there.
Fix.
Maybe you can set up over there sometimes. It's going to be a little water park over there.
Oh, that's gonna be
And
great.
that's starting any day now. It's a $400,000 grant. City had to match some of it.
Nice.
Be completed by mid-May, and it'll be a whole new experience in front.
That's awesome.
And we'll still have outdoor seating. So a great way. And lots of new businesses coming to the downtown, which is exciting. The skate park is ready to begin in July.
that's
They have
awesome.
done a wonderful job. You know, it's good when you can engage other partners to a project, right?
That's what makes it work.
It's the fun part of it, and they have been absolutely wonderful. It's a $248,000 state grant, but I'll tell you what, they've raised a lot of money on their own. And wait, you see this thing? It's not only for skateboarders, but also kids that do little tricks on the bikes. I stay away from that stuff.
That's awesome.
And then we have another huge grant coming up, over $2.4 million grant in April to start sewer and water improvements, paving sidewalks all the way down to the other end of Mill Street near things like Burger King in that area there where they
Walkability.
so badly need infrastructure. And then look at Growing Places at City Hall.
We're there once a month.
Once a month, and that's
we accept SNAP, don't
You brought
forget.
a sample of things, and you can also help them to. Do you have little pamphlets that you give out that kind of explain, you know, how to cook things, little recipes?
We
and all
have a
that?
ton of recipes. So
Right.
we have youth make cooking recipes for us. So they do cooking demos online, so you can access them virtually. So if you go to our Facebook page, we have a ton of them on there. And then also we have recipe cards posted. Actually, we have about 100 recipe cards that we need to upload somewhere so people can access them. But I think the other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned is that one of the things that's unique to Growing Places and the
when
reason
Carl comes out,
is what?
when Carl comes out,
Is it? All right.
we're running out of time.
We have 1 minute.
Yeah, so is that we accept the SNAP program and the Healthy Incentive Program that doubles your SNAP dollars for local produce
And I
only.
want to see people. That's my goal. Is we've got to get into the neighborhoods so that people can see how to make healthy food, that it can have good taste, so they can. People want to eat healthy. They really do.
They do, and they just, so I think, you know, between, like you said, recipes at the mobile market, going into the neighborhoods, you know, we did our first year last year, we served hundreds and hundreds of people,
Yeah.
which was, for a first year, is pretty good.
It sure
So
is.
it's only gonna scale up. And this year, we just hired Mina, because I'm a dietitian, but I'm the executive director, and I can't do that hands-on stuff that I want to. So Mina's gonna help us do that.
All right.
So I'm all excited. So she's gonna be in the neighborhoods helping us do those things.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah.
what we need,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yep.
everybody really does want to eat healthy, right, Carl? All right, we're out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thanks for joining us again. And yes, we're out of time. I want to thank you and the whole crew here at LTV. And this will show again at 6:30, just in case you missed it. And then we say good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. You need to show up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated.
This is LTV.